Even after adding brake lines, a surface may require a few manual edits to correct inaccuracies. Fortunately, Civil 3D includes several tools for correcting surface triangulation. In this lesson, we'll explore some of Civil 3D's surface editing tools. On my screen is a surface that requires a few manual changes. Let's start by looking at the southwest corner. Down here we have some sliver triangles. Now, we deleted most of these earlier just by modifying the build properties of this surface. These triangles remain though, probably because this angle fell short of the 160-degree minimum that we set. Not a problem, we can delete these manually. I'll do that by selecting the surface, and then from the ribbon I'll open the Edit Surface menu. Right here we can see a listing of all of the tools we can use for editing surfaces. I'm going to select the Delete Line option. I can then select my unwanted lines individually or by using a crossing window. When I press Enter, those triangles are deleted and the contours are updated automatically. I'm going to press Escape twice to deselect the surface. In addition to deleting lines, we can also add triangulation lines. Let me zoom in on the area of the intersection. Take a look at this edge of pavement. As it works its way to the northeast, it actually carries through the intersection. This southern street ties into that edge of pavement. So I'd like to add a triangulation line from point 43 to point 44. I'll do that by selecting the surface. I'll open the Edit Surface menu and I'll choose Add Line. This will turn on the Endpoint Object Snap if it's not turned on already. I can then snap to the endpoint here at point 43 and then at the endpoint near point 44. That creates a new triangle line or fold, and the other triangles are cleaned up automatically. Let me pan this over because I'd also like to triangulate from point 55 to point 56. I'll press Escape twice when finished. Let's split the screen. I'm going to do that by opening the Viewports menu. We'll go to Viewport Configuration List and I'll choose 2 vertical. Then in this view on the right, I'm going to change the visual style to shaded. Let's zoom in, and then I'm going to orbit the drawing. I'll do that by holding down the Shift key and the wheel on the mouse. I'll spin this around and we'll focus our attention on this southwest corner. I will then click in the view on the left and we'll zoom in on the same area. Based on the surface triangulation, it almost looks like we have a pyramid here. You can see the surface comes up to the top of slope and then it flattens out in this area, and then it shoots up again to this high point. I think it might be better if we triangulated from this high point down to the corners. Let's try that. I'll select the surface, and then from the Edit Surface menu, I'll choose Add Line. I'd like to triangulate from the high point down to the corner. That looks better. Let me show you an even faster way to do this. I'm going to press Escape 1 time. That gets me out of the current command. Surface is still selected. I'm going to come back to Edit Surface and I'll choose Swap Edge. Using Swap Edge, you can select an edge and it will flip to the opposite corners. As an example, I'll select this edge. That looks better. I'm going to click back in the view on the right. Let's orbit the drawing around, and I'm going to see if we can get rid of this sharp angle here. That happens to be this edge on the left. I'm still in the Swap Edge command, so I'll select this edge. That looks better. The nice thing about Swap Edge is you can quickly flip back and forth to see if things are getting better or worse. You can say better 1, better 2. I like that better. As you can see, it's still a little faceted over here. Then again, there isn't much point data in this area, so there's only so much we can do. I'm going to click back in the view on the right. Let's pan this over, and we'll take a look at the southeast corner. I will then click in the view on the left, and we'll pan over to the same area. Here, the triangulation is creating kind of a sawtoothed area. I am still in the Swap Edge command. Let's try swapping this edge, which is right here. If I flip that to the opposite corner, that looks better. I'm going to flip this edge as well. Once again, that's an improvement. I'm going to press Escape a couple times to deselect the surface, and then I'll review how things look. I'll do that by clicking in this right side view. I'll orbit this around. In fact, if you want this to look even better, you can right-click on the view cube and choose Perspective. This will give you a true 3-point perspective of your surface. You orbit this around and zoom in. This looks very good now. This is kind of minor. I'm going to flip this triangle down here. I'll do that by clicking in the view on the left. We'll pan up to that triangle. I'll choose the surface, Edit Surface, Swap Edge, and I'll flip this triangle. I like that better. Now that I'm finished, I'll press Escape to deselect the surface. I believe all is well at this point. So I'm going to open the Viewports menu and I'll choose Maximize Viewport. We'll center this on screen. Finally, let's change the style associated with this surface. Knowing what we know now, I could select the surface, and rather than going to the Properties palette, I could come up and choose Surface Properties. And here on the Information tab, we can change the style. I'm going to choose Contours 1 and 5 background, and I'll click OK. And then I'll press Escape to deselect. After making the final corrections to the surface triangulation, we are left with a tin that accurately reflects the existing site conditions. This surface can now be used as the starting point for a new design.